Hey everyone, today we've got the final two figures in the Acolyte wave to review. We've got Indara and May. I've already reviewed the new boxes as well as the other figures in this wave in previous videos, so go ahead and check those out on my channel. But let's take a look at the figures here too. Really nice looking figures here. Pretty interesting to see a wash on the upper body here. It looks great, but just not something that we see that often anymore in the Black Series. We don't have the thigh swivel here, but she does have a knee swivel and a boot swivel, which is a little redundant, I guess, but I'll take it. And some pretty good looking soft goods here as far as those go. Definitely the same kind of tailoring that we see on the other figures in this wave with the sewn down hood, but it works as well as it can, I think, and I'm really impressed with the soft goods on May here. I don't know if I've ever seen a soft goods hood sit so naturally on top of a figure. Even if you adjust it here and there, it just like sits where you expect it to without you having to force it down, and it's just nice to see. And the rest of the fabric lays pretty naturally on the body, so they're definitely getting better at the soft goods here. But let's go ahead and remove those so we can appreciate the sculpt here and get the full review. We see some of the painted detail kind of fading as we go towards the back, which doesn't bother me too much, honestly. I never plan on displaying these facing the wrong way. And May's hair is missing the wash on the lower portion like we see on the top, but again, it looks fine, and it's an easy enough fix if it bothers you enough. Indara's saber here is new, and it's in line with a lot of the figures that we've seen in the rest of the wave, and May comes with what may be the smallest Black Series accessory we've ever got. Don't drop it. I dropped one of these onto my wood floor, and I could not find it for like 15 minutes, but this is what those little blades look like. She comes with 4 of these, and she also comes with a spare mask that goes up her face, so the one she has around her neck currently just is supposed to be like the pulled down version of this, and the head pops off pretty easily, sort of like a Marvel Legends figure with interchangeable heads, and then you will remove that piece and then stick this one on, and the head pops right back on, and it sits very like perfectly on her face. It goes exactly where it's supposed to, and it feels like even if you tilt her head down, it doesn't really ride up her face too much, so that's kind of nice. And I just noticed the little detail of like the bunched up fabric around her belt here. That looks kind of cool. I feel like I haven't seen fabric like that in a Black Series figure. And I like the little bit of metal here on her skirt piece where there's some like ripped up chainmail. I think that looks quite nice. There's also like the little bits of chainmail around her shoulders. There's actually like a lot going on in this costume, and this must have been pretty tricky to translate into figure form, but I think they did a great job. And I always think that figures should come with alternate hands. I think as much as facial expressions, alternate hands can really change the energy and like the emotion of the figure. And so I'm going to switch these out. This is a Marvel Legends Eternals hand that I painted that little bit of black on it to kind of match the other hand, and this is just going to peg right in. It fits perfectly. I think the skin tone matches really nicely, and this just adds a little bit of personality there. And Indara only has that white glove on her right hand, and so we're going to use this Dagobah Luke left hand and just give that little like force push effect that can also sort of be like a balancing hand. So for like certain one-handed lightsaber poses, you can have the hand out behind her. You could have it out in front of her like she's sort of in defense mode or just kind of like aiming at her opponent in some way, or out to the side again, just kind of looks like she's in the middle of a more intense pose. And the same thing for May, you know, it just creates that sense of movement and balance, because having like the half open grip hand just like doesn't really work great. And with this pose here, I'd like to turn her head a little bit more to the side and sort of use the shoulder to hold the hair up, and it adds just a little bit more movement and just kind of makes it feel more like it's in motion. And I like this one here with the hand. It looks like she's doing some sort of martial arts pose. And as you guys know, I do a lot of 3D printing and 3D design, and so I wanted to make something for my Acolyte figures that was able to sort of showcase all of them, even though they're not all in the same scenes together. So I wanted to reference like the original trailers for the show and the original like promos, and they all really featured around that noodle shop scene with Indara and May. And I thought since they were elevated, it would kind of work as a nice little shelf riser where I could have this diorama moment happening up on top while still showcasing the other figures down below. So the files to 3D print this are up on my Patreon, along with like 100 other 1/12 scale diorama files, so go check that out if you have not already. You can just go to landspeederluke.com to see everything that's available up on that Patreon. And now that we've completed our reviews of this entire wave, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Leave a like if you haven't already, subscribe if you're new to the channel and you want to see more early Black Series reviews like this. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you all next time.